The medical pod hummed with an eerie frequency that made the scales on Dr. Zixter's neck ridge stand on end. Inside the crystalline chamber, suspended in a lattice of quantum stabilizers, floated the impossible, a human, alive. "This defies every biological principle we understand," Zixter whispered, his 3 eyes fixed on the reader. The numbers made no sense. The radiation signature emanating from the human female registered at 47,000 rads, enough to sterilize a moon. Commander Kevin Chen stood at the observation window, his reflection ghosting over the image of his crewmate. Jasmine Rodriguez had been missing for 6 months, ever since their exploration vessel, the Horizon's Promise, had encountered the decay region of space where 3 civilizations had simply ceased to exist, their planets reduced to lifeless husks of crystallized matter. "How is she alive?" Kevin asked, his voice barely audible over the pod's drone. "She shouldn't be," the Zelthari physician replied, manipulating holographic displays with his 4-fingered hands. "The decay's radiation profile matches nothing in our databases. It operates on a quantum level, unraveling the fundamental bonds that hold matter together. The Kryn Empire lost a colony worlds to it. The Systematic Collective lost an entire fleet, 47 ships, gone in minutes." Kevin's jaw tightened. He remembered the day Jasmine's shuttle had been caught in an unexpected surge of the decay's boundary. They'd watched helplessly as her craft tumbled into the radioactive hell, her final transmission a burst of static and a fragment of her voice. Incredible energy readings. "It's not what we," and then nothing. For 6 months, nothing. Until yesterday, when a coalition patrol discovered her shuttle drifting at the edge of known space, 30 light-years from where she'd disappeared. Inside, they found Jasmine in a medically induced coma. Her own suit's emergency systems having somehow kept her alive. "Run the analysis again," Kevin ordered. Zixter's membranes flickered his species equivalent of a resigned sigh. "Commander, I've run it 17 times. The results don't change. The radiation should have broken down her cellular structure within seconds. Instead, he pulled up a 3-dimensional model of Jasmine's cells. Look at this. Her DNA hasn't just survived. It's adapted. There are new protein structures I've never seen before, molecular chains that shouldn't exist in carbon-based biology." Kevin leaned closer to the display. Intricate spirals of light wove through the cellular model, patterns that pulsed with an otherworldly rhythm. "It's as if," Zixter continued, his voice filled with academic wonder, "her body learned to metabolize the radiation, not just resist it too. Her mitochondria are generating energy at 400% normal human capacity. Can you wake her?" "I don't know if we should. Commander, she's not exactly human anymore. Or perhaps, she's more human than we understand. The Galactic Council has theories that humans evolved in a more hostile environment than most spacefaring species. But this," he gestured at the readings, "this suggests something we've never considered, that human biology has latent capabilities, evolutionary holdovers from Earth's violent past, that can activate under extreme stress." Kevin placed his hand against the observation window. Through the transparent illuminator, he could see Jasmine's face, peaceful in her suspended state. Burns had healed into strange silvery patterns across her skin, like lightning frozen in flesh. "She was always the stubborn one," he said softly. "Told me once that her grandmother survived Chernobyl's aftermath, worked in the exclusion zone for years, said humans were better at surviving than we gave ourselves credit for." "Perhaps she was right," Zixter murmured. "The coalition wants to study her. You know, they're calling her recovery a miracle. 3 species lost entire populations to the decay, and 1 human not only survived but thrived." Kevin turned sharply. "She's not a lab specimen." "I'm not suggesting she is, Commander, but consider what this means. If we can understand how she survived, we might be able to shield against the decay. We could reclaim those lost worlds, prevent future casualties." The physician's eyes softened as much as Zelthari eyes could soften. "She could save millions." The medical pod beeped. Both of them froze. "Her neural activity is increasing," Zixter said, rushing to the controls. "She's waking up on her own. That shouldn't be possible. The sedation should last another 48 hours. Kevin moved to the pod's access panel. "Override it. Let her wake." "Commander, we don't know." "Override it, Doctor. That's an order." The crystalline chamber split open with a hiss of equalizing pressure. The quantum stabilizers disengaged, and Jasmine's body lowered onto the examination platform. Her eyes snapped open, glowing with an inner luminescence that faded as she focused. "Kevin," her voice was hoarse, uncertain. "I'm here. Jazz, you're safe. You're on the medical station at Proxima 7. She sat up slowly, looking at her hands. The silver patterns on her skin pulsed faintly with light. "How long?" 6 months. 6%. She closed her eyes, and when she opened them again they were clearer. "I remember the decay. It wasn't destroying things, Kevin, it was changing them, breaking them down to rebuild them. I should have died, but something inside me adapted, fought back." She looked up at him, tears streaming down her face. "I felt myself dying 1,000 times, and 1,000 times something in me refused." Kevin took her hand, ignoring Zixter's startled intake of breath at the radiation readings that spiked on contact. That's what we do. Jazz, humans, we survive. She nodded, a smile breaking through her tears. Yeah, we do. Behind them, Zixter watched the impossible duo, and for the first time in his 70-year career, he understood why the galaxy both feared and respected humanity. They didn't just survive the unsurvivable, they evolved from it, grew stronger, and came back ready to face it again. The human survived radiation that killed planets, and in doing so, she might have just saved the galaxy.